So to figure out, the sine and the cosine of this angle over here, I'm going to go back to my lesson notes, and I'm going to use these formulas here. Okay, so I know that x is equal to the radius times the cosine of a, and I know that y is equal to the radius times the sine of a. So I just wrote those formulas down, and I can go ahead and fill in what I know. So for example, I know that x in this case is 4. I know that radius is 5. That's the hypotenuse. So I can fill that in. And for the other one, I know that y is 3. Okay. And again, once again, the radius is 5. Okay. And now I can actually use these to figure out, to answer the question, what is the sine of a and the cosine of a? So for sine of a, I'm going to use the formula off to the right here. So to get sine of a, and let me use a different color. To get sine of a by itself, I have to divide both sides by 5. So I'm going to say that sine of a is equal to 3/5. And I'm going to leave it as a fraction since I know sine of a is 3/5. And if I put that as a decimal, that's going to be approximately 0.6. So 3 divided by 5 is 0.6. Okay? And I'm going to do the same thing for cosine. So to get cosine by itself, I'm going to divide both sides once again by 5. And I'm going to end up with cosine of a equals 4/5. 4 divided by 5. And if you didn't know that, 4 divided by 5 is approximately 0.8. So we answered that question. I know that sine of a is 0.6, and I know that cosine of a is 0.5. Okay, let's take a look at the second example here. The coordinates of point C are 0.8, comma 0.6. What are the values of cosine of a and sine of a? So first things first, before we answer the question, notice we are told that the hypotenuse is 1. The radius in this case is 1. So when I use these formulas, I can actually use the ones at the bottom here because the radius is 1. This is a unit circle. So I know that 0.8 is my x value and 0.6 is my y value. So this distance right here is going to be 0.8, and this distance is going to be 0.6. Okay. Remember, x is horizontal, y is vertical distance. Okay. So because it's a unit circle, I know that x is equal to cosine of a, and I know that y is equal to sine of a. So I can use these formulas here because it's a unit circle. Why is it a unit circle? Because the radius is 1. So in this case, x is going to be 0.8. So cosine of a is going to be the x value, which is 0.8. And sine of a is going to be the y value, which in this case is 0.6. Okay. So you can see the problem is actually a lot easier if I know it's a unit circle. If it's not a unit circle, I have to do it like I did here. Still not as bad, but I have to do a little bit of extra work here. Your cool down tonight is going to be just an example, just like I just did here on number 2. So if you followed along, you should be able to do the cool down.